I need to tell you something that might make you feel uncomfortable. Your body is keeping score. Every unshed tear, every swallowed scream, every moment you told yourself to stay strong or keep it together or push through, your body remembers. And if you've been trying to conceive while carrying the weight of unprocessed grief, chronic stress, or loss, your nervous system might be the very thing standing between you and the baby you're dreaming of. I'm Megan Cleobulis, and I've spent over 6 years helping women to restore their fertility through Chinese medicine, nervous system work, and deep emotional healing. And today, I'm sharing something deeply personal about my own miscarriage in 2024. I was 16 months postpartum, and what it taught me about the intersection between grief, stress, and fertility. Because here's what I've learned, both clinically and personally. Hope and grief can exist at the same time. And until we make space for both, our bodies can't fully open to new life. The science of suppressed grief. Let's talk about what happens when grief gets stuck in your body. When you experience a loss, a miscarriage, a failed cycle, the death of a dream, even a childhood trauma you've never fully processed, your body goes into a stress response. That's cortisol, adrenaline, the whole cascade. Now, if you allow yourself to feel it, to cry, to rage, to rest, your nervous system can complete the cycle and return to a balance. But most of us, we don't do that. We go back to work the next day, we smile through family dinners, we tell ourselves we need to stay positive for that next cycle. We need to just bury it. And here's the problem. Suppressed grief doesn't disappear. It becomes chronic stress. And chronic stress, it disrupts your HBO axis, the communication highway between your brain and your ovaries. Tanks progesterone production, impairs implantation, increases inflammation, literally tells your body this is not a safe time to grow a baby. I see this all the time in my practice. Women come to me after multiple miscarriages or failed IVF cycles, and when asked about their stress levels, they say, I'm okay, I'm handling it. But their pulse tells me a different story. Their hormones tell a different story, and their bodies are screaming. Your fertility isn't just about eggs or sperm, it's about safety, and your nervous system is the gatekeeper. Suppressed grief becomes chronic stress, and chronic stress is one of the most overlooked causes of hormonal imbalance, implantation failure, and reoccurring miscarriage. My story. Grief, 16 months postpartum. In 2024, I had a miscarriage. I was 16 months postpartum with my son, and honestly, I thought I was in the clear. I thought my body had bounced back. I thought it was strong enough, regulated enough, healed enough. But grief doesn't care about timelines, and my body was still processing the demands of postpartum, the identity shift of motherhood, the ways I had quietly pushed my own needs aside to show up for everyone else. When I lost that pregnancy, I had a choice. I could do what I'd always done, push through, stay strong, get back to work, or I could actually practice what I preach. So I gave myself permission to grieve, to cry, to be angry, to take space, to not have the answers. And here's what I learned. The path forward includes moments to grieve, to be with the emotions I feel, not bypass them, not positive mindset them away, not meditate them into suppression, but just be with them. Because when I finally let myself feel all of it, my body softened, my cycles regulated, and my hope returned, not as toxic positivity, but as something real and grounded. And I started seeing the same patterns in my patients. Healing isn't about staying strong. It's about giving yourself permission to feel and creating the conditions for your nervous system to feel safe again. The clinical evidence. patient stories. Let me share 2 patient stories that illustrate this beautifully. Patient 1, recurrent miscarriage. She came to me after 3 early losses. Doctors told her it was bad luck, but when I looked into her health history, I found layers of unprocessed trauma. Sexual assault in her 20s, a demanding career where she felt she had to prove herself constantly. Her nervous system was in chronic fight or flight. Her body didn't feel safe, and we didn't just focus on hormones. We worked on Qigong for nervous system regulation, acupuncture to release stored tension, herbal medicine to nourish her blood and calm her spirit, trauma-informed coaching to help her process what she'd been carrying. And within 6 months, she conceived. And this time, she made it past 12 weeks, and then 20, then full term. She didn't need another supplement protocol. She needed to feel safe in her own body. Patient number 2, premature ovarian insufficiency, or POI. Diagnosed at 34, told she needed donor eggs. Devastated. But here's what doctors missed. She had been in a high-stress corporate job for 10 years, barely sleeping, living on coffee and willpower. Her body had shut down fertility as a survival mechanism. We started with regulation. Daily acupressure for the nervous system, some adaptogenic herbs to support her adrenals, restorative yoga and breathwork, and permission to rest without guilt. She started cycling again naturally. Then she did 1 round of IVF and it worked. Now she's 16 weeks pregnant. Her ovaries weren't broken. Her nervous system was exhausted. Your body isn't broken. It's responding to the stress and grief you're carrying. When you regulate your nervous system, fertility becomes possible again. Why doing more isn't the answer. Here's the trap I see so many women fall into. When a cycle fails, they add another supplement, another test, another protocol, another expert. They do more. But here's the truth. Sometimes doing less is the medicine. Your fertility doesn't need to optimize harder. It needs to feel safer. That might look like saying no to things that drain you, taking a month off from trying, crying when you need to cry, letting your partner hold you without needing to fix anything, going to acupuncture, not because it's proven to work, but because it helps you breathe again. I use tools like Qigong for gentle movement that doesn't demand performance, acupuncture to release what's stuck and invite flow, acupressure you can do at home when anxiety spikes, herbs that nourish rather than force. These are woo-hoo. They're nervous system medicine, and they work. Fertility isn't about doing more. It's about creating space for your body to remember it's safe. Hope and grief at the same time. Let me come back to this. Hope and grief can exist at the same time. You don't have to choose. You can grieve the baby you lost, and you can hope for the one that's coming. You can feel angry at your body and love it for trying. You can be tired of this journey and still show up for yourself. This isn't toxic positivity, it's integration, it's wholeness, and it's what your nervous system needs to heal. Because when you stop splitting yourself in two, when you stop pretending you're fine when you're not, your body can finally relax. That's where conception happens. You don't have to choose between hope and grief. Your body needs you to hold both with compassion. If you're watching this and you recognize yourself, if you've been pushing through, staying strong, doing all the things, but still not getting pregnant, I want you to know it's not your fault. And there's another way. I created something specifically for women like you, the Optimal Fertility Blueprint. It's a comprehensive program that addresses not just your hormone, but your nervous system, your emotional health, your whole self. Because fertility isn't just physical, it's deeply emotional, spiritual, and energetic. Inside, you'll get nervous system regulation tools, Chinese medicine protocols, cycle-specific support, emotional integration practices, and if you need extra support calming your stress response, I also offer Stress-Free Goddess and Fearlessly Fertile Yoga, gentle restorative practices designed to help your body feel safe again. Links are in the description below. And if nothing else, I want you to take this with you. Your grief matters, your body is listening, and you deserve to be held, not just by others, but by yourself, as you walk this path. I'll see you next week.